listen to that. That is all Mercedes-Benz G-Class. I know by looking at it, it's hard to tell that this is a new 2019 G-Class because it looks, well, the same, but everything has changed on this car. Well, everything except for 3 parts. And the one part that remains the same is right here. That's right, it's the door handle. And coming up next, we're going to do a deep dive on this car and tell you everything. All right, we can't tell you everything because they haven't announced a lot, but we'll tell you as much as we can, as much as we know, as much as there is to know about the brand new Mercedes-Benz G-Class. How many years has it been, you know, since the first one came out?
It was 1979, so we're just almost 40.
The crazy thing about the G-Class is it's got to be one of the most iconic nameplates in the business, right?
Absolutely.
And it came out as kind of an Austrian military vehicle that had a diesel engine that put out like 70 horsepower.
Yep.
And it hasn't changed since then. I mean, the basic architecture of it has been the same. So what have you guys done to upgrade an icon?
So this would be the most significant redesign that this car has received in the last 40 years.
Yeah.
So basically they scrutinized every single bolt, every single part of the entire car, but the primary focus was always on off-road capability. Okay, and then the next focus would be then let's improve the on-road capability of the new G-Class as well.
Yeah, because a lot of people aspire to off-roading, but they take it to work, you know, they take it to the shopping mall. I mean, let's face it, it spends much of its time on road. So how have you made it better off-road?
So off-road, we maintain the ladder frame. We also maintain the 3 100% locking differentials, okay, which was key to this car. We actually improved the ground clearance, and we also improved the fording depth by almost 5 inches. It's 27.6 inches now. So it can go over more, it can go through more, and it'll do even better. And we took the front end, we replaced the solid front axle with an independent front double wishbone suspension.
Why'd you do that?
For better on-road capability and to make room to lower the car so that the on-road performance is better. So we actually had to lower the car down slightly, and then there was no room for that, so then we were able to then get higher ground clearance.
All right, and in terms of the rear suspension, has that changed or is it still a solid axle?
It's still a solid axle in the rear.
All right, let's talk about powertrain. Have you announced powertrains yet?
For the 550, it maintains what it had, which was a 4-liter V8.
Okay.
All right, it takes some technology from our performance side of the brand, so it's a hot V configuration. All right, producing 416 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque.
All right, and of course people love the G-Wagon, and you guys have made some really crazy versions of it. There's a 6x6, there's the squared. Any of those coming?
Stay tuned.
Okay, all right, fair enough. And how about the interior? Let's talk about that.
So we did a full redesign of the interior. It brings it up to the newest comfort level that you would expect from a Mercedes-Benz in our S-Class and our E-Class, and then also the newest technology. So replacing the center command screen with a 12.3-inch screen. It'll come standard with analog gauges, but it will have the optional 12.3 screen, so you'd get the double 12.3 bonded screen.
Yeah, I noticed that it also has more room. Is there more room on the interior? Because I sat behind the wheel, and in the old one, I quite didn't fit. I mean, it's a very upright vehicle. So, is there more passenger space in the cabin?
Yep, the focus was completely on driver comfort and also passenger comfort. So it's improved legroom in the front by 1 inch, but the real story's in the back, where it's just under 6 inches of extra legroom.
And is that reflected in the wheelbase of the car or the overall length?
Yes, the car did get 2 inches longer, and that's primarily all in the wheelbase.
So 2 inches longer, but 4 inches more inside.
Correct.
All right.
Yep.
How about safety? Does it have the same? It's hard to have a 1970s car, comply with current safety regulations. So how is this car in terms of safety and technology?
Well, we brought it up with the newest suite of Mercedes-Benz safety systems. So you're talking active brake assist with pedestrian recognition. You have rear cross traffic assist. So really bringing it up to everything that you would expect to be in a Mercedes. Active lane keeping assist, blind spot assist, all that standard.
And how about pricing?
We haven't announced pricing yet, but we don't expect a big jump from the previous generation. So you're going to get all the new technology in the all new G for a very similar price.
So the current one is about 125 for the base one.
Yep.
Right. So
for a 550.
550, yeah. So it's going to be similar.
Yep.
Or would there be any diesel or hybrid or electric options?
Right now, we're all, as you know, we're always reviewing the different engines and the drivetrains. Right now, we're going to offer the 550, and then again, stay tuned to see what's going to come next.
All right. And one of the things the CEO said was that these are retractable. Are these really retractable? The little turn signals?
So it's not retractable per se like a switch on the inside of the car.
Yeah.
It's actually for pedestrian safety. What we did is we designed it with a threshold, so if there's an accident and there's an impact to it, it'll actually drop down flush with the car to do no damage to anybody, so it doesn't hurt anybody.
So you won't get like impaled on
the marker light. Yeah, exactly.
And let's talk to you about these lights. Obviously, those are very different. I mean, the car itself looks very similar. It's an iconic shape. It's a box with a big Mercedes star on the front of it, but this is different.
Yep. So in the U.S., we'll have the multi-beam headlight standard, and then we put the integrated daytime running light in there. And of course, just because it's a G-Class, and if you're going to keep it the same, it has to be a round headlight. So we thought to enhance that with the daytime running light.
I notice you've got the little squirters.
Yep, little squirters. In the U.S., we will come standard with brush guard on it.
Oh, cool. Good.
Yep.
Like the current one.
Yep.
All right. And how about colors? Have you done a color palette? This is it's almost matte colored in some ways.
Yeah, this is Night Black Magno, a Designo Night Black Magno.
Yep.
The G-Class as it is today will have the most extensive color portfolio in all of our vehicles. So we're going to start with 31 colors at launch.
31 colors.
31 colors, of course.
And what's your favorite? Have you seen them?
This one is actually my favorite. Designo Night Black Magno. I got to see a 4x4 squared in this color, and I fell in love with it then.
Okay.
But seeing this one here, and the first one that I have coming to my fleet is this color.
All right. And how about tires and wheels? How many options and what kind of tires?
Okay, so we are going to extend the wheel portfolio, so we're going to do a 19-inch standard.
Okay.
Okay, so and then there's going to be a no-cost option to another 19-inch wheel standard, and then we're going to offer an AMG line on this car for the 550, and that'll have two of our 20-inch wheel options, this being one of them.
Okay, and how about tires? What's the tires? The old ones I think were Scorpions. Do you know if those are still on
I
there?
don't know what the factory-approved tires are yet. I think we're still defining that right now.
Oh, look at that. It's an engine. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk?
Surprise.
Surprise, surprise.
Surprise.
Yeah, the wheels are good looking. I like those actually. They're really good looking. Let's see what they got on there. We have the Falcons. These are actually these are pretty aggressive. I don't know if we're going to get these tires. Like I said, these are European models, so we're kind of speculating here. We'll see what comes. Let's go look at what's on the other one. These are more street worthy. Here we got Pirellis, and these are Scorpions, just like I thought. These are Scorpions. Why don't you show them, Mike? Show them the tires. There you go, Scorpions. And there you go, guys. Here's the engine, and yeah, it doesn't have a hybrid or a battery, so it's pretty classic Mercedes-Benz G-Class.
It doesn't have one yet.
Doesn't have one yet. It's covered. Now, Mercedes has said that all of their line will be electrified at some point. And so at some point, you're probably going to see either a battery or some kind of a hybrid system on there, but not today. I heard these are the European spec.
These are European spec, correct.
Will the American look very similar to this?
Yes,
Okay.
it'll be very hard to tell them the difference. You'll have a little yellow in the marker light here. Headlights are going to be exactly the same. The wheels are the same, but you will get the brush guard. So that'll be the biggest way to tell that it's a US spec car.
Now, one of the things I noticed is you kept that iconic door. Did they work on it? And then the engineers did they have like a sound studio and they would clink and then the doors lock and it's got that kind of clank?
They really did. I've heard recordings of it for quite a while now. So yes, that was something that was very important, something that when you take a car like this and it's an icon, there's certain things that you have to maintain. And that's one of them for us.
One of the other cool things about the G-Class has always been side pipes. Did you keep the side pipes?
So it will have them, but they won't be visible on the 550.
So will it be kind of like...
They will not go all the way to the back. They'll be the short pipes.
All right, how about tow ratings? Have you announced tow ratings yet?
We haven't, and you know what? I haven't seen that yet, but I expect it to be very similar to what it is today.
And obviously, you probably don't have fuel economy numbers yet?
We don't, not yet.
All right, and when will it be available?
Currently, we're saying late summer.
Okay.
Okay, so we will launch this year.
And I got to ask you, will you have a program so I can go drive this bad boy?
Of course we will.
You're going to be off-road program.
Yes, we will be there together.
All right. As you can tell, guys, we're kind of doing this, I'm going to call it guerrilla style, because it's a media scrum, and we're trying to get you the information first. So we've got 2 colors. As you know, there'll be over 30 different colors. That's kind of a matty black, and here's a green color, which is actually more traditional, almost like a British racing green. It's a little bit darker, and let's show them the interior of this car. It's got a chocolate interior. We've seen the interior of that one. It's much whiter. So let's take a look at this one. Oh, there's a international journalist doing their stand-up. Actually, there's 2 guys right now. Check this out. Look, there's one guy doing one there, and there's another guy, if we come over here, doing his thing there. Why don't you show him, Mike? And look, they've got the same microphone we have. How about that? Who would have thought? All right, let me jump in here, Mike, and we'll show them the interior of this car. This one has more of a chocolatey interior. Once again, we know that this screen is an option. Keep in mind, currently the cars run around 125,000. One of the interesting things that I learned from the presentation by the CEO of Mercedes was that he considered the Wrangler one of the more iconic, or one of the most iconic cars of this generation of off-roaders, and I have to agree with him. I mean, there are very few cars that are as iconic as the Wrangler off-road, perhaps the G-Wagon, maybe the FJ.
For this car, I would say something that a G-Class has never had, which is massaging seats.
Oh,
Just a nice little luxury when you're driving into work to be able to turn on the massager. So I do appreciate that.
So the typical, S-Class massaging seats are now available in the G-Class.
Yep.
Do you know how much it weighs?
I don't have the curb weight on this car yet.
Any specs like 0 to 60, or approach angle, departure angle, any of that?
We do have some of that. We can get you that information, but all of it's slightly improved from the previous version. So I believe the approach and the departure angle all were like +1 degree.
Yeah.
All right, you heard that it can climb 100% grade.
I did not hear that.
Yeah,
100%. Like that?
Like what you see up here.
Yeah, okay,
like those going up there.
All right. And one of the tests, I guess, that you're talking about is a mountain in Austria. Is that something that's new, or has this been? This is the first time I've heard about it.
Of the Shekel.
Yeah.
All right. Why don't you come around to the side real quick?
Yeah, show me.
Let me show you this. You know what, can I come in here for 1 sec?
Okay. All right.
So I just want the badge here, the Mercedes-Benz Shekel proved.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so the Shekel is the Mount Shekel in Austria. So it's been the proving ground for the G-Class since the early 70s.
Oh, cool.
So even the test mules that they had during that time in the early 70s, before they even released the car, were run up the Shekel, basically. So happy to say this car is actually faster on the Shekel. And it's really one of the most exciting things that you get to do when you go to Graz.
Yeah.
Okay, it's even more exhilarating when you come down. When they get to the top and they turn around and then you come down, it's fantastic. And then they get out and they say, "Okay, you drive."
Thank you. Sorry. So I think these seats are all the way in the back.
Yes, yeah, they are.
I moved my seat to the back.
Yeah. So okay, thanks. and
I'll give you more space.
I'm good, thank you.
Slowly though.
That's fine. And I'm 6'2", and I've got plenty of headroom.
Plenty of headroom.
Yeah, and I've got good leg room back here. I take it we've got a nice,
Correct.
And is this
Pass through.
pass through? There's a pass through. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's talk, Mike. Why don't you jump in the front? We'll kind of quickly talk about while we're back here. Let's talk about that huge display. Why don't you show the huge display, Michael? Keep the door.
Yeah, so some of the things that they focused on this car is bringing some of the things from outside to inside.
Yeah.
So the circular headlight design you can see clearly in the vents.
Yeah.
Okay. He talked about
Stay on the dashboard, yeah.
you have to keep we had to keep the grab handle in front of the passenger seat. That was just a must.
O handle. You know
Yes,
that.
exactly. Yep. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
The 3 locking differential switches. Okay, just some things that
Now,
just
what's the
had.
G-mode? You're talking about the G-mode.
So G mode is anytime you're in low range, okay, or you engage any one of the locking differentials. The car actually, it'll light up and say you're in G mode, and it basically will tune the car to be the best for off-road.
It's like instant. Off-road,
Yes.
okay.
It works with the damping system when you have the optional damping system, and the shift points of the car through the dynamic select.
Okay, push button start, of course. Command control, the same as on any Mercedes currently.
And the first G-Class with push button start.
I saw that. Yeah. That's what I was pointing out. Now I like the little badge, but it's reminiscent of like a Wrangler, right? Rubicon trail rated. So it's trail rated, but it's Austrian trail rated.
Yes, shekel proved.
And I also like the fact that you've got a nice upright driving position. That's kind of something that's been classic. With
the visibility with the G-Class was also a focus, because you could see so well in the old one that was a primary focus of the new one, that you have that same type of visibility.
Are there any new use of materials in here? Is this steel or is it aluminum? Do you know?
So on this car, we lost 375 pounds by moving to aluminum. So the 4 doors and the hood and the rear door are all aluminum now. Okay. But I'm sure you noticed on the inside that when you closed it, that it had that G feel to it.
Yeah, let's do that. I'll show you. Please, listen to this. Listen to this, guys. I mean, that's about, listen to that. That is classic, and that's because these doors are still bolt solid.
Correct.
And then I noticed you kept the outside hinges as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
That was one of the 3 things: the door handles, the hinges, and the spare tire cover.
All right. Well, guys, thank you for joining us for this kind of deep dive into the G-Class. And of course, there's not a lot that we know about it yet. There's still a lot of things like powertrains, performance, cost, MPG, the usual stuff. But when will you be announcing this? When are some of these things going to be coming out?
I would just ask you to stay tuned.
Okay. And then availability is late summer.
Late summer, correct.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. Remember, check out tfltruck.com for more news, views, and of course, real-world reviews. And you'll notice that we put this G-Class onto our truck channel. And you know why we did that?
Because it's a truck.
Because it's a truck, because it's a ladder, frame on ladder construction, and this is basically a truck.
Right, the patriarch of the SUV family for Mercedes-Benz.
See you guys next time. Ciao.